Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Their Highnesses and Excellencies, members of the Council of Ministers visit Petroleum Development Oman Company to acquaint with the latest work developments in the company and its future programs. His Highness Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers says there is cooperation between government and private sector to achieve economic diversification. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed stresses that the government provides great and numerous facilities for the investors and praises the media role in various sectors in order to highlight Sultanate's image. And Public Authority for Electricity and Water stresses that it is currently working to find quick solutions to cover drinking water shortage in the wilayas of the Governorate of Ad-Dakhiliyah. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Islam Karimov of Uzbekistan in reply to His Majesty's cable of greetings on his re-election for a new presidential term. His Majesty the Sultan received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yam of Singapore in reply to His Majesty's cable of condolences on the death of Lee Kuan Yew, former Prime Minister of Singapore. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, Their Highnesses and Excellencies, members of the Council of Ministers, this morning visited Petroleum Development Oman Company PDO at an invitation from the company to the Council to acquaint closely with the latest work developments in the company and its future programs and to listen to any views to support its tasks. Their Highnesses and Excellencies were received at PDO premises by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Hamad Al Rumhi, Minister of Oil and Gas, Raul Restro's General Manager, and senior officials at the company. The visit lasted for several hours, and company's officials presented general briefing on performance in production, health, safety, environment, quality control, training, and employment opportunities for citizens through programs of local value added. The general manager of the company said that he is honored along with officials and employees by the visit, which shows further attention made by the government for the company and continued support, emphasizing that it is a good opportunity for them to express their gratitude and continuous endeavor to present the best levels of performance and services of social output. His Highness praised company's efforts in adding to the Omani economy, its active role in training and employment of national manpower, the role the government is seeking for the company to enhance it through providing more opportunities of employment, especially for citizens of the areas where the company's activities are located. His Highness expressed his delight and that of the members of the Council of Ministers by the visit, during which they acquainted with the activities and usage to the latest modern technologies in oil and gas industry, besides its role in social fields, which is appreciated by the all. At the end, the general manager mentioned that they are proud of serving this vital sector, and the visit will be a great incentive for them for the best performance, stressing their keenness to cooperate with the concerned in the government and to apply the directives aimed at to the general interest of Oman and its citizens under the enlightened leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos.
تقول عامل اهتماما خاصا بدعم برامج التدريب الهادفة إلى خلق فرص عمل. The Council of Ministers' visit to Petroleum Development Oman in Mina Al Fahl is meant to acquaint with exploratory and productive projects implemented in concession areas that are expected to contribute in raising the Sultanate's production quantity of oil and gas and to promote the Sultanate's reserves. Here is a report read by Huda Al Jahwariya.
His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, and Their Excellencies the Ministers, during the visit listened to a visual presentation on the target production rate in the next 10 years exceeding 550,000 barrels daily. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said said that he is pleased and thankful to Almighty Allah for His Majesty's return to Oman and is proud to what has been seen and witnessed today, and that the Council of Ministers is following up such developments. Petroleum Development Oman announced its exploratory outcome during last year in front of the Council and indicated that a 16% of growth was achieved in the gas field and 8% in oil, which was the biggest reserve addition in 20 years. Raul Ristucci, General Manager of PDO, had this to say.
It's an absolute privilege. This builds on the visit that we had with His Majesty in May 12th in 2013. I think that we have the opportunity to share with His Highness and the Council of Ministers what we're doing, not just in terms of oil and gas development, but also in terms of supporting the community with the wonderful progress we've secured with the super local community companies, with the job creation, where this year we're targeting 7,000 jobs within PDO and outside in the community, the upskilling from welders to specialists to pipe fitters to electrical maintenance.
His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said and Their Excellencies the Ministers then visited the Collaborative Work Environment Center, which was developed in the Sultanate as an electronic gate entitled Nibrasa. It enables the employees at the company to remotely communicate with 21 centers in different producing fields, in addition to the main center, without having to travel, and allows them to solve any obstacle hindering the production process. The e-gate further contributed in raising productivity among employees by 50%. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, thanked PDO for its cooperation with the government and for its efforts in recruiting Omani citizens and creating comfortable atmosphere for them.
The production is going strong. At the moment, our 550,000 barrels a day target will be raised to 600,000 barrels a day by 2019. We're already producing well above our target as we speak today. So we're confident, even in this oil price regime, our portfolio remains strong, very active. And, we're very, very confident. We had a very good banner year in exploration.
The tour was concluded by a visit to the exhibition organized by PDO, which showcased the company's community activities and its facilities meant to provide a healthy work environment to its employees.
That was Huda Al-Jahwariya with that report. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, stressed that there is cooperation between the government and private sector to achieve economic diversification in the country, clarifying the importance of this partnership between both sides, either in tourism sector or other fields. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, stressed also that the government is able to contain the effects of falling oil prices, pointing that the main aim of the government is to preserve citizens' aspects of life and oil prices will not continue like this. He also said that other issues are studied by the government. His Highness, the Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, mentioned that the government provides great and numerous facilities to the investors, referring that the investors feel secure and know their investments in the Sultanate are met with great attention, and the laws and legislations applied in the Sultanate help them. His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said praised the role played by the media in various sectors in order to highlight Sultanate's image and to awaken citizens' attention towards construction and production. His Highness said that he is thankful to Allah Almighty for the return of His Majesty safe and healthy to the homeland. He added that with the efforts of all and the efforts of media, which is highly important in clarifying the image, as many do not understanding some aspects, that media can give visualization with benefits to citizens and urge them to exert their utmost to serve the country. With no doubt, the reputation of this country is praised by the all, and Oman's role is important not only to the citizens inside but also to the relation with others. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin.
65 fine artists to draw the longest picture for His Majesty Sultan Qaboos in the Wilayah of Barka. Welcome back. With participation of more than 200 trainees from 12 Arab countries, activities of the third year Conference for Arab Trainees Federation and 9th Arab Conference for Human Resources Management and Training started in the Governorate of Muscat. The conference, which was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Services, discussed working human resources reality in Arab world as well as Arab experiences in managing and developing human resources. The three-day conference included a number of work papers which highlighted challenges faced human resources development. A number of speakers gave lectures on their country's experiences, such as Diplomatic Institute in Qatar and Performance Management System for National Media Council in the United Arab Emirates. The two conferences aimed to find solutions to develop working human resources in Arab world. His Excellency Syed Saeed bin Ibrahim Al Busaidi, Deputy Governor of Muscat, emphasized the depth of relations existing between the Sultanate and France when he received Captain Renai John Crane, commander of the French ship Var. He briefed the guest on the Governorate of Muscat and its role in serving the society, referring to the wilayas of numerous historical, touristic and civilizational landmarks. On his part, the French guest expressed his admiration of what he had seen of civilizational landmarks and referred to the great role played by the Sultanate in strengthening relations of cooperation with various countries of the world. Royal Oman Police implemented a number of e-projects and applications in various police services formations, aiming to facilitate service provided for citizens and to limit time and efforts, in addition to its commitment to be a forerunner in the field of e-government. Royal Oman Police achieved new accomplishments in earning 2 awards of His Majesty's Award in e-service provided for governmental sector in Auto Connect project, which governmental institutions inside the Sultanate and outside the Sultanate with the United Arab Emirates. Muscat Securities Market General Index today lost 4.25 points, comprising a decline by 0.07% to close at 6,265 points compared to the last session. Here is a report by Tabinda Bukhari.
The MSM 30 index closed today at 6.2 points, recording a decrease of 0.7% compared with the last trading session. The value traded securities today reached 1.8 million Riyal Omani with a decrease of 28.10%. Last trading session, which recorded 2.6 million Riyal Omani, the market capitalization increased by 0.26% against last trading day, reaching around 14.8 billion Riyal Omani. It is worth mentioning that the value of shares bought by non-Omani investors reached 217,000 Riyal Omani, recording around 11.5% of the total value of the shares. The value of shares sold by non-Omani investors reached 350,000 Riyal Omani at a percentage of 18.65%. The net foreign investment on the market decreased to Riyal 132,000 by 7.6%.
Market fluctuations are a norm in securities industry.
What we look forward to now is the positive recovery in the near future anticipated by the analysts. Sayyidat Abinda Bukhari, Muscat Securities Market.
His Excellency Engineer Mohammed bin Abdullah Al-Mahrouqi, Chairman of Public Authority for Electricity and Water, stressed that the authority is currently working to find quick solutions to cover drinking water shortage in different wilayas of Dakhiliya Governorate. His Excellency said that citizens in the Governorate of Dakhiliya have used wells to make up for water shortage. He explained that the main problem is the lack of nutrient water production due to the delay in operating water station in Al Ghubra city. He also indicated that water network projects in the wilaya of Samail and Bahla are already opened. His Excellency Engineer Chairman of Public Authority for Electricity and Water stated that a number of wilayas in Governorate of Dakhiliya witness an implementation of many projects to supply drinking water, which hopefully to achieve additional service and development for the citizens of the Governorate.
والآن أيضا تم طرح مناقصة لإنشاء شبكة في ولاية بدبد ويتم تقييم.
Municipal Council in the Governorate of Dhofar discussed in its fourth meeting this year industrial schemes proposal to absorb the registered lands request for industrial use and strategic planning to use the lands in Raisut area in the Wilaya of Solala. The Council also reviewed developing Old Solala city in addition to maintain Hafuf road in the Wilaya of Dhalqut. Within the framework of Qaboos Al-Majd initiative for the citizens of the Wilaya of Barka in the Governorate of South Al-Batina, 65 fine artists draw the longest picture for His Majesty Sultan Qaboos in record time. The picture, which was painted in white and black color, was achieved in 1 hour and 15 minutes. The initiative also included the designing car competition as well as a pet birds exhibition in participation with Omani Birds Society, which contained 375 birds. 45 birds were distributed to the first 45 child visited the exhibition. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of accumulative clouds over the Hajar Mountains and nearby areas in afternoon with chances of scattered rainfalls. Winds along the coastal areas of the Sea of Oman will be northeasterly light to moderate, while along the rest of the Sultanate it will be south to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight to moderate along the coast of Governorate of South Al-Sharqiyya and Dhofar with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. While along the rest of the coast, it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, their Highnesses and Excellencies, members of the Council of Ministers visit Petroleum Development Oman to acquaint with the latest developments in the company. His Highness Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers says there is cooperation between government and private sector to achieve economic diversity. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed stresses that the government provides numerous facilities for investors and praises the media role in various sectors. And Public Authority for Electricity and Water stresses that it's working to find solutions to cover drinking water shortage in wilayas of Governorate
of الداخلية. With that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and studios, it's good night.